Event Champions TCG Daily $50 Tournament. I am your host, I'm Brett Banfi, and your tournament organizer. We are jumping right into the action. We have a very exciting event for you today. Today's event is a combined Gen 1, Gen 2 format. We are going in free mode, so all players can play with any card that's been printed by the set. And we are looking at a no angel format. So there's going to be a little bit of variance, a little bit of change in how that format is going to play out, just because of the fact that we are not going to see the Florianas, the Crystalias, the Zephirias, and the Purities, Sins, these monster 499 angels. Those are going to be not included in this format, so therefore we're going to see a little bit more of the traditional stuff. Here we have, jumping into action, we see Nicholas at the bottom of the screen. His opponent is Vanquish. And we are tuning in right away to a very exciting board state. We see Nicholas at 36 here, Vanquish at 36. Glidefin on the board, Ocho, Speedy. So Nicholas playing the all-out rush strategy here. We see Vanquish, 8 in hand. And he is facing a board of Glidefin, Ocho, and Speedy. Vanquish with 8 in hand. Down at the bottom of the screen, we see Nicholas with 6. Vanquish here taking a moment to think this turn through. Very pivotal turns. When you reach the 5 and the 6 mana threshold, it's important to get the maximum value. When we're playing these Gen 1, Gen 2 combined formats, the room for error is just so much tighter, so much smaller. Your opponent is playing with cards like Uga Chief, Pegasaur, Uga. So of course, those are very capable of killing from nowhere. Taking the full 60 to 90 seconds here. Looks like he may have just conceded right there, and I'm not sure. I think maybe my browser had frozen a little bit, and that the players continued to play out the rest of their hand, and maybe I just had missed it. So now we are jumping back in. We do see, again, Vanquish here has passed on turn 1, passing to Nicholas, who has the White Lily, will deploy, and that is a Roglet, swinging for 3 and a pass back there. Down comes business for Vanquish, and a pass. Now that is the Glidefin. The Glidefin, not the most powerful 2-drop in the set. It does have Rush. Of course, Roglet, not the most powerful as well. But what they do provide is very fast rush damage and a decent evolution chain that I know both players looking to draw from. Speedy comes next. Then we see an attack again for 6. Looks like Frossetti is going to be able to eat up this Roglet here in the middle of the screen for Nicholas at the bottom. And Vanquish with 3 mana now. Sorry, 4 mana. And that is going to be an Uga. It is a trade with business on the Roglet, and attack for 3, and then just ignoring the Speedy. It's a decent idea. Speedy cannot go after Uga or Frossetti, but now he can because that Flammy came down. And that is a tournament edition Flammy, so one of the more rare and expensive cards we will see today. And there we see Hydrofang join the action for Nicholas, draining Vanquish with that Vortex ability. We see Frossetti trade off with Flammy and then business. Vanquish gearing up for a longer fight. Nicholas wanting to just swing in with a sock full of quarters and bring Vanquish's health down to 0. Snowbeak, very nice turn there. That's able to trade with Hydrofang. There we're seeing a Thunder Kang come down from Nicholas. He is a big fan of that Thunder Kang. It is part of the normal family, so he might be looking to get some of those otherworldly effects activated. Now a pass back. Vanquish on 9 cards in hand is looking at a business in play for himself. Unfortunately, that business is not able to do much work against the Speedy or the Thunder Kang. Could combine in the future to get some work done there, but not on its own. That's going to be a tall order for that business. Let's just say the sleeves are not rolled up right now for that business. We did see some tournament businesses go out the other day. Those are beautiful. Always love to see those tournament editions in play for our competitors here. Down comes Ocho. That is an attack with Ocho on the Thunder Kang, and followed by an attack after the Lumi comes down and blesses that business on that Speedy, but then passing the turn, and Vanquish has gassed his full hand up, but this is not necessarily that same Gen 2 format style game where you are looking to grind your opponent down. Nicholas, I think, understanding that just a sock full of quarters may be enough to win this format. He is still at 21. Vanquish is still at 21. We see Ocho was able to take Munta out. Unique to this format, we do also have the Ugas available, who are beefed up versions of Ocho. Now we see Trolley come down. That cleans the board up. Nicholas with 5 mana now, 3 in hand. He's really skimped on some of those greed cards that have given Vanquish the ability to build that card advantage. Instead, he just deploys an Eaglon, getting his Trolley back. So now Vanquish constantly going to have to play around the fact that Trolley exists out there. But if you're Vanquish right now, you have to feel good that you've stabilized this board, you've stabilized the turn. You are facing a 2/2 Eaglon, but at the same time, you have spent the early portions of this game building a card advantage. Now it's time to actually use that advantage. He very boldly decides not to attack the Eaglon. We'll see how that ends up playing out in the long run. Nicholas still... Oh, one of the reasons why you don't attack the Eaglon there is you are concerned about that Trolley in your opponent's hand. But you are giving up that free 2 damage. Now Flammy comes down for Nicholas. We know Trolley's in his hand, and there's a Roggle, so his hand is random card Trolley. Attacking there for 7, in addition that Eaglon. And we will likely see this Galefin trade with the Roggle. The Eaglon surviving would attack. Oh, there's a Mortalis. Oh, there's no angels allowed in this format. So Vanquish is playing with a card that has been restricted. So we will let the players know about that in the Discord. All right, there is Trolley, and then Gelfin comes down. Vanquish at 4 does have a does have 6 cards in hand. He'll likely be able to deal with the Galefin and the Snowbeak. The thing is that Nicholas just has a stock full of quarters. He's going to be swinging with rush cards every single draw for the rest of the game. So Rogue Orser is going to be able to take out Snowbeak. Mortalis can take out Galefin, and there's likely even maybe something that can take out Trolley. There's Barry. Barry could attack Trolley, but the problem is that that Nicholas is going to draw the next card. Very likely that it will be a card with the rush mechanic and Vanquish, unless it's oh, he's just ignoring the Trolley there, just attacking, and it was Snow Gaze to draw an additional card. I wondered if he would have considered attacking with Trolley on Rogue Orser there, just to get that one additional draw. Then Eagle-On comes down. Now Vanquish at 2. We'll see how this goes. Of course, Rogue Orser must trade with one of these 3 cards. All 3 are lethal. And then Vanquish has 2 additional options here to get rid of Eagle-On and Trolley. But even if he does, as we said before, most of the deck that Nicholas is suiting up here, they are filled with all rush cards. So there's the Gelfin. Likely goes and the Fox Assassin. Just a heads up to everyone, we are streaming live on our YouTube, on our X.com, on our Facebook platform. So if you are tuning in and want to check us out on one of those platforms, go ahead and give us a shout, give us a follow. We are able to field your questions live. We also have some fun new interfaces for interacting with our Twitch supporters. We're excited to see those in action here. All right, let's jump in. We see Big C versus Coomer. This game already in the middle, so we will have to jump in 5 minutes into the game. We see Snow Gaze, Cutie Bug, Shadow Steel, and Ice Eagle all on the side for Big C. Coomer playing with this Mecha Fly, returns the Ice Eagle, then a Shadow Steel, likely goes and gets the Mecha Drone for Coomer. We've seen him play these very tempo-oriented strategies before to great effect. So we will see if that is played out in this format. Looks like it will be. All right. Mecha Fly goes down. Then the Bug eats the Shadow Steel. Then we see a big attack. The Ice Eagle has been deployed. Now the Monkey comes down. Monkey gets in for 4. That's a pass back. Coomer on 8 in hand. Swoosh Shark. Okay, so the Swoosh Shark comes down. That's 7 mana with the Windseeker ability. So this is a crack back for 20. The Swoosh Shark can go and get something like the Uga from Coomer's deck with that Wind-Seeking ability. Now we do see Mechadrone come down. Gua King has shown up. And then we see the lethal attack there from Big C. Gua King, the one that does the final deed. It looks like Nicholas did advance over our friend Vanquish there. Vanquish Audio. And now we are taking a look at the remaining field here. This is our $50 daily event, ChampionsTCG. And it looks like Bay is set to face the winner of Big C, Brandon C. So 0 now up against K1. Baby Hands will be playing Nicholas. Let's tune into that one. Finally, we see AC and Anymoon. AC passed, and now won, and now we see Brodnik CBT going to play the winner of AC. So let's jump into Sero K1. We see double snoots on the battlefield. And then we see Nippa. Wow, it's so amazing. We see, okay, the actual White Lily and then the White Lily from Sero. Players are able to play with the White Lily because we're playing the version of the game where you don't need to own the cards. There goes Boopasnoot taking out his brethren. And we see double attacks from White Lily, followed by an attack from Barry. Then Business and pass. Now Sero on 3. Got a very fast start there. That was a Dracora on 3. That has a vortex there. Then we see a nice Flammy that took out most of Sero's board. The Business was able to take out the White Lily, which helped ensure that the damage didn't get soaked up. And we see Baba come down, bless Boopasnoot, and we see an attack for 5 here. Business able to trade. Oh no, it's going to be another Inferno, and it was, but it whiffed on Fyron. Scorchwing does stick around. Fyron returned to Sero's hand with the Mecha Fly. Now we see Fyron redeployed, does deal 6 again, but will be able to be eaten by the Mecha Fly. Baba trades with Scorchwing, and we see Hydro Fang with the Vortex. Mecha Fly does clean up that Fyron. Now we see the Chief come down, takes out the Hydro Fang. K1 playing a little bit defensively, but now well positioned with 3 champions on the board, Uga comes down and the monkey, getting an attack in for 10. That's a pass back. K1's at 8. Big Flamigwakin comes down. Now Mechafly able to trade with Uga. We're seeing an attack back for 10 after a business and pass. Big turn for Sero here. It is Hydro Fang. That will, and a monkey, and that will be enough. Good game. Sero with the Fast and the Furious start. K1, he did have the White Lily as well as regular White Lily. And that mana efficiency, that mana advantage that he was able to generate there, enough to get him over the top. We see the game 2 starting for Sero. Let's jump back in, follow tournament action here. We are seeing Sero again on the draw, so again starting with White Lily. Now business for K1. Dreadfin comes down. That's a Vortex for 5. We'll be able to trade with business. I think K1 realizes that the Sero deck is the beatdown deck in this matchup. That is a Wind Seeker. Then, yeah, the trade that we were anticipating. 3 mana now for Sero. Shadow Steel. Okay, there's the Uga. It's going to ignore the steel, and it's just going face. It's a little bit risky here, I think, to do that because your opponent is only at 55 when you swing for face there. And you did play the White Lily to boost yourself to 4 on 3. You will have a 4 mana turn next turn. Okay, there's the White Lily. That's Flamigwakin. It whiffs on Uga, but able to clean up with Shadow Steel. So it turns out to not have been such a big deal. There's Scorchwing. Takes out the White Lily and Flamigwakin. Aqua Fluffle and Boopa Snoot behind it. 2 very efficient cards. Flammy comes down, takes out the shields on the Fluffle and the Snoot. Following Flammy gets the Scorchwing off the battlefield, and now we see the Snoot trade off with the Flammy. Rogorser comes down, pounds for 8. This Flammy not able to take the Rogorser 1-for-1, but I believe this is the 6 mana turn for K1. He had a White Lily that boosted him to hit that Flamigwakin with the ramp, but